My life with God began on June 5th, 1974, the day I was born. Yeah, I know, sounds weird, but let me explain. See, I wasn't supposed to be born on that date. I arrived 3 months premature, weighing just 2 pounds 3 ounces. Now that's undersized for any newborn, but in 1974 it was practically a death sentence. There were other preemies born in my hospital around the same time who weighed more than I did, and they did not survive more than a few days, or if they did, they ended up with crippling physical or mental disabilities. But not me. Other than a minor complication, I turned out perfectly healthy. I was considered a super baby by the medical staff. My mom's church thought I was a genuine miracle. From the beginning, I was led to believe that the only reason I was alive was because God had saved my life and He had something special planned. I had a destiny. Not only was my birth evidence of divine intervention, but my family life as well. I wasn't planned. My parents conceived me out of wedlock while in college, and on top of that, my father's black and my mother's white. And although ethnic tensions were improving in the early 70s, interracial dating was not widely accepted in the US back then, let alone interracial premarital sex. To highlight this, when my mom and dad got engaged, they were so worried over how their parents would react to their different ethnicity that my folks neglected to meet the other families or even tell them about their fiancé's race until the day of the wedding. I wish I could have seen my grandparents' reaction. I imagine it would have been the stuff of legend. So yeah, my mom and dad got married about a month before I was born. Not out of obligation though, but out of love. They truly loved each other, and I just happened to be the unexpected result of that. Mom told me they never once considered abortion or putting me up for adoption, but I would not have blamed them if they did. I mean, how many 19-year-old college students want their lives upended by a baby? Anyway, whatever apprehensions my grandparents may have had quickly disappeared. Both sides of the family soon embraced my mom and dad as, well, family. The interracial dating, premarital sex, unexpected pregnancy, somehow none of those issues created any long-term resentment between my grandparents and my mom and dad. Instead of tearing my family apart, my unexpected arrival served to bring two very different families together, and I quickly became just another one of the many grandchildren, nephews, and cousins. To this day, my parents are the most loving and devoted couple I have ever met, and I am very thankful for them. I attended a non-denominational, somewhat charismatic church growing up. I loved the people there. They were friendly and honest, mostly young couples coming out of the Jesus movement, and a few of the children in the church ended up being my main stable of friends in the years to come. Our pastor was a marvelous communicator who was well-studied and preached his sermons with an earnest conviction. When he married my wife and I in 1998, we asked him to give a brief 10-minute salvation message before the vows. That 10 minutes turned into a full-blown 45-minute sermon. But I can tell you that every person in the room, including my wife and I, hung on his every word. With the exception of maybe the wedding photographer, who I'm sure was checking her watch and going out of her mind. That's the kind of pastor he was. I was saved at a youth retreat around 1988, confirmed that commitment through water baptism in 1990, and was baptized in the Holy Spirit in 1992. Looking back, despite all of the potential hurdles I faced growing up, I made it through my early years virtually unaffected by so many of life's problems. Divorce, racism, physical and sexual abuse, drugs, even bullying, except in junior high school, of course, were all things that never touched me personally. I was always on the outside of the glass, looking in at what other people were going through. And as with everything else, I saw the hand of God in it. I saw Him shielding me from the evils of the world, and, of course, this was all a part of His grand design. He had spared my life as an infant, raised me in the perfect family, placed me in the perfect church. Everything was happening according to His design. Life was good, and the future even better. So what the hell happened? Well, it was an accumulation of things. Evidence 3 described his deconversion as a framework of nodes that, if challenged individually, might not shatter a Christian's faith, But if challenged collectively, the concept of God could be shaken. I think that describes my situation perfectly, although my framework differs slightly from his. My framework looks something like this, and I'll be devoting a video to each one of them in the months to come.